All right, so we have hit this pivotal moment, you guys, to talk about a film that was snubbed, which some people were kind of surprised about, some people weren't. The movie Drive with
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, Albert Brooks. That movie was completely snubbed. So we actually decided that, hey, why don't we turn this into like a review show where we can talk about, one of the snub movies at least. So we all saw it. It's in case you don't know, it's about an unnamed person played by Ryan Gosling. He is a driver. He's pretty much like a subdued version of the Transporter, I guess. If you've ever seen the mass release, this movie is obviously a completely different film than the Transporter, but he's that kind of guy. He does driving jobs. He doesn't really like to
He's
get
a lone wolf.
Yeah, he's a lone wolf kind of guy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we don't even know what his name is at the very end. I thought, what is his name? The driver?
Yeah, you actually don't know until, actually, it was actually until the end that I was like, oh yeah, they never said his name. That's right.
That was what was great, is that you still liked the movie even though you had no idea what his name was. It was great.
Yeah, and it's definitely, this film was praised a lot for the fact that the way it was shot and the pacing and everything, it was very similar to like these simpler times, the 80s, and even like down to the music and down to the title and stuff like that. It was very cool. It actually was the same like as that I can think of, like Grand Theft Auto Vice City. There's like that same purple, like very neonish and that. So, all right, so let's go around the table, or down the line, I guess. If you're watching the video, it's down the line. Aimee, what did you think of Drive?
I liked it. At first it had that like 80s corny feel, like, okay, the music was, and the way that they were acting, or not the acting, but like just the whole feel of it. But like once you get to a certain point in it, it's like, oh my gosh, did that just happen? It was really well paced. They just kept moving it right along. It was really good. The guy gets in trouble. He tries to help out somebody else, and he was, basically betrayed, and it was all about betraying. And they did a really good job with it. At the very beginning, I wasn't quite sold with it, but once I got like about halfway through, I was like, okay, I like this movie.
Awesome. John, what say you, sir?
Well, let me just after the movie ended, I googled the director, and I had seen another movie by him called Valhalla Rising, and it might be the worst movie that I've ever seen. It was sort of similar to this one, where it was very quiet, not a whole lot of characters did a lot of talking, got violent in certain points, but like the movie just didn't make any sense, and it was just like very weird, and clearly some kind of like Norwegian European type feel to the movie.
Nicholas Winding Refn is his
right.
From Copenhagen. So yeah, definitely that, like, what is happening?
Right. So I was surprised that the guy who did that movie could also do this movie, which I really enjoyed. I watched it with my wife, and she was less than thrilled about the pacing of the movie and the lack of
driving,
kind of anything going on. But that's sort of the type of movie where I could get sucked in and just okay, I'm in it. I don't know what it is about this movie, but it's mesmerizing, and I want to watch the whole thing. And then I get done with it, and I'm like, wow, that was really good.
Yeah.
And just the fact that, I don't think that I had ever seen a Ryan Gosling movie besides one that came out last year before, Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah.
So I was like, this guy's like a pretty boy actor, and they kind of made fun of that in the last movie I saw him in. But like, I you're an actor and you play different parts. I get that, but I don't know. I guess I never gave him credit for being anything other than The Notebook.
Mm-hmm.
So surprising to see a young actor like that do something that's sort of heavy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I don't think that I just haven't seen anything like that in a really long time, and it was really good, and I think it was underappreciated by a lot of people. So, if you've got a couple hours to kill and you don't mind a slow-paced movie to begin with, I would definitely watch it.
Yeah. I think yeah, definitely. I agree with what both of you are saying. It's just like this movie was, because it was so like interesting. I mean, it was slow. It was slowly paced. I wouldn't say that it was.
They were building to something. They were giving you a reason to care about what he was going to care about.
Right, exactly.
Midway into it. So.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting because you were like, where are they going to go with this guy? What's happening? What's he doing exactly? And then it got to that point where that one guy he saw in the diner, just starts trying to talking to him, and then he just pretty much tells him to shut up, and then he threatens him to the point where he would just like, he's like, if you don't shut up, I'm going to murder you. Is basically what he says. And then you could just feel the movie just immediately like turn, and you're just like, oh.
It was that twist.
Yeah.
It turned, and you're like going, oh crap.
Yeah, you're
he's
like,
in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was like, in the beginning they show him doing a job where he's, picking somebody up, how like making sure they're doing their thing and this and that. And it's like, okay, he's just a guy, he's a quote unquote professional who's just really good at what he does. But like, if it was just that, you're like, okay, I don't care about this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But since they kind of went in depth of like, who he is, and you see him doing stunt stuff on movies, and you see his relationship with the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
The guy from Malcolm in the Middle. I thought you were talking about Carey Mulligan, but okay, the guy from Malcolm in the Middle. What?
Yeah. The father from Malcolm in the Middle. What the hell's his name?
I don't know.
Brian something?
Who? Are you talking about the guy who plays Sal?
Yeah, the dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know his name.
Have you never seen Malcolm in the Middle?
That wasn't the guy from Malcolm in the Middle, was it?
That's his father.
No kidding. I didn't know it was him.
The guy from Breaking Bad, if that suits your...
Yeah, but I didn't know that was... I didn't even know that was, No, I didn't. I actually didn't recognize him.
But before...
Oh, no, that is him. Yeah, I just looked it up. It's Brian.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him. I truthfully did not recognize that he was Shannon. So.
Anyway, before he gets involved with Carey Mulligan, who is the girl, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Irene. Yeah.
Before he gets involved with her, you see like this relationship that he has, and he's not like a weirdo guy. He obviously gets along with people, so him getting involved with Carey Mulligan didn't come like as a shock. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where a lot of times it's like, there's a guy who's a loner, he never talks to anyone, but all of a sudden he sees a pretty girl, and it's like, oh, now I'm going to change who I am and get myself in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
But like, you see that he's a personable person. He can have a conversation with someone. So it wasn't that much of a twist to be like, okay, I could see why is he getting involved with this woman?
Right.
So.
Yeah. I actually, oddly enough, this was in my, my high school phase where I would just watch TV shows after school, the really stupid shows. But I actually saw Ryan Gosling in Breaker High, just some television show from the 90s, I believe. Let me see really quickly. Yeah, it's from the 97, so it was on like UPN. John, UPN 57.
Okay.
This was before the WB and the UPN merged to become CW. But I watched that, and there was another show that he was on. So, and then I watched a lot of he did a lot of independent films before he, in between The Notebook and this, he did a lot of independent films like United States of Leland, which was a pretty good film. So I've been actually watching this guy for a while, and just to see that he finally came back and got the recognition is pretty cool. But I love the music. I thought the music fit really well.
Yeah, I thought it did.
I was kind of weird at first, like when
I downloaded it, the soundtrack.
Oh, did you? Did you? Oh, you like it? Yeah, it's. I remember I listened to some samples of it, and it was pretty good. So, I think right after that chase scene where it comes with the the credits, the opening credits and everything, I was pretty much immediately. I mean, I was already hooked since the chase scene, but then once it hit there, I was like, oh, all right, this movie's gonna be good. And the movie definitely takes some crazy, weird turns, but it was definitely a very good film. So, yeah, if you have a couple hours, definitely pop it in.
Oh, not even that long. I mean, it is like, what, 90 minutes long? It's not as long as...
it's not 2 hours, yeah.
That's right.
If
Surprisingly,
you get 2 hours, you got
short
plenty
film.
of time to get through this and just go, wow.
Yeah, and then you sit back and think about it.
Popcorn, sit down. All of that will take 2 hours, and you'll be done, and it'll be a good movie, and you'll be very well entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, what?
I'm looking at the cast from Breaker High.
Yeah.
The one guy is Sock.
Yeah, Sock. This show on the CW early 2000s, I think, called Reaper.
No, it was like 2007. I was living in South Philly.
Was it that? Oh wow, I thought it was a lot longer than that. Oh man, I did lose track of time.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, that name looks familiar. I have no idea who it was. Tyler Labine, Sock.
Yeah, Sock. He was also that's a pretty good show. It only lasted 2 seasons, I think, but it was a good show. Definitely. All right. So that's the Breaker High. It was a Canadian show. If you didn't know, but it was on UPN for 2 seasons. Oh, great! I shouldn't have said anything about that.
Nope.
Okay, so that is. I think we're gonna wrap it up there. That is a very good place to end the show. Now that we're all back, Aimee's back, Sean is still here, I'm still here. Craziness has ended. The life will no longer intervene with the show. No more life, guys. Just quit life and just do the show specifically. That's it.
Quit life? No, I think it's a good motto.
Not quit life. I mean, quit doing, normal life stuff. I didn't mean quit life in that. All right, we're just going to stop because I'm going to keep saying some terrible
things.
You're
just digging it deeper and
deeper. Digging it deeper and deeper. But okay, so have a good, for John, Denny, Aimee Morgan, me, I'm Peter Van. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
There goes the outro, right?
Okay.
You've been listening to ScreenView.
I used to watch Ghost Rider.
ScreenView is a radio-free Cybertron production.
It didn't make any
Visit
sense.
us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live.
How could it go?
Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment, leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net.
And this ghost was like...
Copyright 2011, Radio Free Cybertron.
Which doesn't make sense.